Hi everyone, hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. Just going to dive into Wink. Once again, thank you for your continued support across the channel here for CoinsKid. Really do appreciate everything that you do to contribute towards the growth of CoinsKid here. It's amazing. Thank you very much. So basically what we're going through here, obviously it looks bad, doesn't it? It looks bad, but I'm just going to be transparent with you, okay? This is called a blow off top, right? This is a blow off top. You can see that's a rocket ship taking off into space. Do you see that? That's a rocket ship. And at the time when it was doing that, I did forewarn anyone and everybody not to get involved at the top. And do take this as a lesson learned that you don't buy into these sort of things, okay? All right, fair enough. Win's a great product and it's going to Mars. But right now, if you've bought up there, you're feeling pretty awful at the moment, okay? You are feeling pretty awful because you're currently down. At one point you was down 64% and potentially you're looking to come down to this red line here, so that's a 70% correction. But what I want to reassure you, okay, is that what it's doing is perfectly healthy. I know I keep saying it, but it is perfectly healthy, okay, because it needs to do that. It needs to come back down. It needs to hold support in order for continuation, okay, in this bull market that we are in. We are in a bull market. You only have to look across the board to see that we are in a bull market. Obviously, things that go up have to come down. So I'm just offering you a level of reassurance here that so far, so good. We're falling onto support. We're holding it, okay. We've lost this particular level of support, the 20 EMA. But you're coming down and you can see that you're looking for the support of the 55. Now, if it loses that, that's your signal. You know, you're going to enter sort of a downtrend and a bear market for Win, which you've not done since way down here when you formed this bearish cross on the EMAs, okay. And you can see that big sell off there, and that actually corrected until it formed a new bullish cross that lost around 65% as well. So you can see it doesn't take a rocket scientists, okay, to look at that and think, wow, that's got mega overly extended right now, and all it's doing is rolling over and looking for key levels of support, which in my opinion, and not financial advice, you will find most definitely on this red line, which is the 55 EMA on the daily time frame. I want to reassure you of that. Again, not financial advice, but one thing that you've got to keep an eye of, and in my years of charting, okay, is when these things go up, they always roll over. Always look for a test of support to get involved, and I've always said that to you from the get-go. As we came down, you could see we got the test of support off the 20 and we started to march on, but obviously we got rejected and we're rolling over now and we're looking for another level of support, and I do believe that will come off this 55 EMA here. I've seen a lot of comments on the Win videos recently about how it's going to zero and it's a scam coin and stuff like that. I honestly don't believe it is. I think it's just getting going, to be honest with you. You can see it's gone pretty flat, pretty sideways, okay, for so long, and it's actually coming up, and obviously the things that come up, and then you can see it's got overly extended there. What you needed to see is this more natural growth, which I was talking to you about when I first started making the videos, that you know you want to see it going up in these swing highs, okay, swing lows, and then swing highs, swing lows, and falling back on the previous swing high support. This one here went up, swing high, swing low, and it fell on the previous swing high support there. Do you see that? And then this was overextended. Never buy into overextended EMAs, especially on the daily time frame like this. Don't get involved up here, okay, because you will see that rollover, and if it starts to lose support, you will start seeing it form bearish crosses on the daily time frame, and that's when it enters that bearish consolidation range right there where it's stuck under the EMAs, just like it was here, okay. It's stuck and it just contributes to the downturn until it can find a base, a bottom, which God knows where it is, before it starts to march on again. But so far, you know, you are holding support, and I want to reassure you of that. So right now, I'm going to show you a couple of patterns that are relatively bullish for Win. Obviously, you've got this sort of pattern going on here, which is basically a falling wedge. Okay, you're conforming to some kind of wedge like that. It's falling, and obviously, as you can see, it's getting tighter. But what, in my opinion, that's looking to do, it's looking to come down and at least test this red line, which you've not tested yet. You've not tested this red line, which is 55 EMA, so it's almost begging for that, so to speak, okay. So you can see that since the bullish cross here, it went up and it back tested it once. That's it. That's your only touch. You had a little wick down there that didn't even touch it. It didn't even touch it. So you've not touched this. And another key indicator as well is look how wide that gap is there, okay, on the EMAs, on a daily time frame. Look how wide it is, completely overextended, completely. Okay, so it's just coming back down. It's going to hug a base level of support. Worst case scenario is it falls on this swing high, okay? That's your worst case scenario. And you can see if it did start to do that, it would drag the EMAs, you would get the bearish cross, you would get the sell-off, you would get the capitulation. So in my opinion, you're not going to come down to that level. In my opinion, not financial advice, but I think that what you're going to do is you're going to bounce off this red line, okay? You're going to come down potentially, bounce off this red line, and you're going to bounce. And one thing that's making me believe that, okay, in my years of charting is this. See this? That's called volume. It's tailing off. When it tails off, it's indicative of a breakout. You're in a falling wedge, you're falling down, looks bad, but what you're doing, you're being forced down to test support because you got overextended. You rolled over, you're back testing support, you're breaking down, you've got depleting volume, you're above the EMAs on the daily time frame, especially 55. You're not necessarily above the 20, that's resistance, but that's what's forcing you down to test this 55. I do believe that once you test that 55 and get the kiss, you may see that bounce there for win, and you may see it come back up to itself, which is the all-time high, which is there for win. And that from that bounce, where you do come out of that falling wedge and you do start to break up, that's a whopping trade right there of around 153% for win. So it's not financial advice. All I do is show you what I see, okay? And effectively, you know, it's like what you've got gone here. You've gone up, you got overextended, you came down in a falling wedge. Okay, and this is why I am still bullish on win. I am still bullish. Honestly, you come down this falling wedge, and what did you do? You broke down. Look at the volume. It's tailing off, and then you get the breakout. Look at the breakout come for the volume to come in to take you up. You got that high. You come back down, and what did you do? You went back up and you broke the wedge where you formed it. Okay, and that's what we've got going on here for win. And I will keep fighting that until the last tooth and nail, because the last tooth and nail is you fall out of this EMA. You start falling out of this EMA on the daily time frame. That's when I change my bias towards you're in a downtrend and you've gone bearish. You've got the bearish cross on the daily time frame there, which is the big sell and go to the beach signal, okay, or sell and get a job. Because ever since it's formed this bullish cross just down here, okay, bullish cross just there, that's the big buy and go to the beach signal. It's gone up beautifully. It's gone up. Okay, gone up lovely, consolidated. This was FOMO, and at the time I said to you, this is FOMO, don't get involved. But you can see what it's doing. It's just coming back and it's holding support. And if it holds this red line, which I do believe it will, golden, absolute golden to get involved in, because I do see it marching on. And I've got a price prediction for you right now as well that I'll bring up for win. So basically, as you know, I'm bullish until the end. That's you've got to be. You're in a bull market. Don't forget that you're in a bull market, okay? And these things need to come back down and test support, especially when they get completely overextended, just like win has, okay? So this is why I'm here. I'm just showing you key levels of support for you, and obviously to offer you a level of support as well. So basically, we've got a price prediction here for win. So basically, if this does start to form any lower and comes back down, you do get this sort of test off this 55 right now, because you can see you're going to get caught in between. So say eventually you get the test off the 55 and you do form the bottom right there. So what you do, go from that red line there and you go to the top, and that gives you your future price prediction. So what I would say is that potentially it's going to be roughly around there. I do believe that when it starts to come down and starts to form that new impulsive wave, I do see win getting to this particular price prediction around here of up there at 00469095, and from here, from this bottom, when it does bottom out, if this is not the bottom now, okay, because this could equally be the bottom, you could see the break. I mean, look at the volume tailing off. That's always indicative of a break, okay? Look at any charting, any sort of documentation on charting. When the volume's tailing off and you're forming a pattern, it's indicative of a breakout. So the breakout comes and you're looking at a big impulsive wave, say from this bottom, say it touches this 55, for example, you could be looking at a whopping sort of trade up there to that new all-time high of around 366% there for win. So that's why I'm still bullish until the pattern that's in play is invalidated away. And at the minute, you're in a falling wedge, depleting volume, you come in, you're back testing support, yeah, you're overextended, but you are in a beautiful pattern that is a continuation pattern to the upside. So that's basically win. Do take care, stay strong, stay safe, and most importantly, stay tuned.